In the year 2003, the prevalence was reported to be at around 13.6%, and it gradually dropped. So with awareness and advocacy and all activities related to HIV and AIDS, there was a lot of money that was coming in from international organizations to fund HIV and AIDS projects, and it was reported, these are national statistics, that in the year 2007, prevalence dropped to 5.1. But what happened in the year 2008 is that it increased. So from 5.1 we moved to 7.4. And this, it was attributed to the fact that because of the drop in prevalence, the rapid drop, people started getting to a comfort zone. It is said that approximately 1.4 million Kenyans are living with HIV and AIDS in the country currently. And out of these, about 150,000 die every year out of either opportunistic infections, so you have tuberculosis, or maybe malnutrition, or because of lack of access to medication, so all these deaths. So at one time, before this whole thing of HIV and AIDS, Kenya had a life expectancy of 71 years. But as late as maybe 2008, the life expectancy went down to 45 years. In Kenya, this has really affected the productivity age. So we're talking about 15 to 49, which is the age where people are supposed to be productive. And the result is that the poverty levels have also been on the increase.
Statistics are showing that about 1.4 million children are orphaned by HIV/AIDS, and about 150,000 children are living with HIV and AIDS. What is being said is that for every 2 people that are put on ARVs, 3 more become infected, and this is a bit alarming in our country.
I think the other thing that has led to an increase is inadequacy in terms of capacity. So capacity in terms of knowledge. So people don't know what to do in case someone is HIV positive. So maybe that could increase the risk of infection. And also capacity in terms of resources, like we were saying, poverty. The levels of poverty have gone up. So of course, people are not adequately able to take care of their needs, whether they're HIV positive or they are taking care of people who are HIV positive. In the year 1999, as with all countries, especially in Africa, the prevalence of HIV and AIDS was really going high. So in the month of September, the government or the president declared it a national disaster. In the target area of St. Martin, it was at the same time that the prevalence of HIV and AIDS, it was realized, was very high. So a committee was formed of 11 members who sort of came together to try and see what the situation was on the ground and to see what was the best strategy to be able to deal with the prevalence. The idea at the beginning was basically to try and, especially to try and reduce the prevalence of the infection of HIV and AIDS, but also to try in a small way to improve the socioeconomic status of the people living with HIV and AIDS. St. Martin is sort of a child of the community-based approach. The only difference is that the target in this case, in St. Martin, what we try to do is to work with people who are able. In St. Martin, we call them able because they're people who are probably not disabled, people who are not living with HIV and AIDS, people who are not vulnerable in one way or the other. And what we do is we try to work with these people who are able to help those who are not.
As Gadon was saying, St. Martin endeavor more to empowering the volunteers, the community, to be able to handle its own issues. So even this program for HIV/AIDS is trying to empower the community to be able to manage issues pertaining to HIV/AIDS, and also try to empower those who are infected and affected to be a bit economically stable, to be able to feed themselves, to be able to take care of the orphans.
Basically, what has been the result of this creating of a capacity within the community is that there's reduced stigma. We have a lot of people who now are able to come out and to say that they're HIV positive because they feel that they will be accepted.